All right. Hi, I'm Rin.
And I'm Katya. And we're here in Boston with the Commonwealth Center for Holistic Herbalism.
And today is Canada Day.
Oh, Canada. Do
you know any of the other lyrics?
I know.
Sorry, Canada. We'll work on that. We'll do better next time. So let's celebrate nationalized healthcare.
People being nice to each other.
And a whole country full of people who own guns who don't shoot each other with them.
Yes.
Yeah.
Good job.
That sounds pretty good to me. So.
But really, when you think of Canada, besides those awesome things, you think of maple.
It's right
there on the flag.
It's right there on the flag. Yeah. Like in the old herbal literature, there's like an occasional reference to the bark being a mild astringent or whatever. But really, I don't know of anybody who bothers with any of that.
Not when there's maple syrup.
Yeah. So maple syrup is more than just sugar. Maple syrup is a really nice mineral-rich sweetener full of awesome goodness. And I've never heard of anybody being enslaved on a maple plantation as opposed to certain other sugars that we might care to name.
Yeah, maple is definitely far superior. And we have this great Vermont maple syrup because I used to live in Vermont. And Vermont is like honorary Canada, but you need to get it while it lasts. Because with global warming, it's going to become harder to make maple syrup here in the States. Mm-hmm. So make friends with Canadians now so that you will have an uninterrupted supply of maple syrup even when the world gets quite warm.
Yeah. And get yourself the good dark stuff, because the grade B or the grade C, that doesn't mean lower quality, it means higher mineral content. So that's what you want.
Yeah, that pale honey-colored maple syrup, actually, that's like skimmed off the top and it has hardly any of the mineral content in it. The mineral content is really concentrated in that dark syrup. So that's the kind you want.
Yeah. But check out how dark this is. This syrup is really cool. This was chaga-infused maple syrup made by Anya Rothe at the Fat of the Land Apothecary. So check them out.
Chaga is a mushroom, and it grows. It's not a mushroom like you would think that grows in the ground and has like the cute little cartoon, hat on top. Chaga grows on trees, mostly on birch trees. Sorry, the braces make this hard. Yeah. And like 5 or 10 years ago, we started hearing about chaga. Maybe like 5 years ago, we started hearing about chaga as an adaptogen, and everybody got very excited about it. And now it's chaga this and chaga that. But really, chaga can take like 20 to 40 years to mature, and it's really not that common. And chaga also is suffering from climate change, just like everything else. So it's really not a great idea to just run out and toss chaga into every formula that you have. But Anya is very sustainable. She harvests her own chaga in a very sustainable way, and she boils down the maple syrup that she harvests herself. So we get a bottle about this size once a year, and we save it for really special occasions.
Like Canada Day.
Like Canada Day.
Yeah. So when you get the syrup out of the tree, or the sap out of the tree, it's sweet, and you might have even seen maple water being sold in the stores now. It's like our local competitor to coconut water, I guess. Mm-hmm. It's the same basic idea, being like electrolyte rich and rehydrating and all of that. But that maple sap, you gotta boil it down, and I think it's like 70 gallons of sap to make a gallon.
40 gallons of sap makes 1 gallon of maple syrup.
Yeah. So if you're going to be boiling it down all day anyway, why not put some herbs into there, especially those that stand up to that kind of boiling and in fact even really require it for it to be fully extracted. So, in this like chaga infused syrup here, you can tell for one that the chaga hasn't been wasted. Like if you ever see chaga in a tea bag, then just
don't do it. Don't do it. It needs to be boiled for a long time to get the stuff out.
Yeah. So this seemed cool to us as like a nice way to deliver that in a reasonable manner. You're not going to drink the whole bottle, I imagine. I hope not.
No, small doses.
Yeah. Just treat it as something precious like it is.
You could also do this with reishi mushroom, which is a little more sustainable. Or it would be fantastic with ashwagandha root. And those are 2 other adaptogens that are not too stimulating and fine to work with over the long term. So those would be great additions too if you want to try making your own maple syrup with herbs in.
Yeah. If you don't have something quite that fancy and you don't have maple trees around you to boil down the sap from, or maybe you just don't have the time or energy for that, then you can take some, plain old Vermont or Canadian maple syrup and you can infuse your own herbs into there.
We have, you can't tell because you can't see through this, but we have infused blueberries into this maple syrup. And all we did was put wild Maine blueberries that were frozen into a pot, put in some maple syrup, and let that heat up for, 30, 40 minutes. And I like to keep some of the blueberries in there because that's really delicious. But even if you strain the blueberries out and use them in some other recipe, like blueberry muffins, you can see that the syrup has turned very purple and very vibrant with a lot of the antioxidants and pigments and good, cool stuff from the blueberry. So, so that's a really fun thing to do too.
Yeah. So, hooray for maple and for maple syrup, and hooray for Canada, and
now, hooray for pancakes.
Yeah. Great. Good idea. Do you want this one?
Yeah.
Oh, you get 2 this time.
Thanks.
We'll see you later.